Alright, now we're just waiting for everybody else to come. I'm gonna see if this lags, okay? We're gonna do lag text really quick, okay? Alright, we now finished the lag test. Now we're just gonna talk about things. Never use bread whenever you're eating bread. So whenever you eat bread, it's always, like, not great for you, I guess. I don't know. Not my thing to say. Hello, Prototype. Welcome to the stream. Just gonna say the most random things to wait for everybody else to come. Okay. Hello. Welcome to the stream. Okay. Whenever you eat some food, it's always less of what you started with. For some reason, it's always bad, and when you eat food, it's always good. And when you do not eat food, it's always bad, but when you don't eat food when you're told, it's always good. I don't know, but hello. Welcome to the stream. We're just gonna be, like, saying random things until everybody else comes, so yeah. There's always somebody there. They're gonna watch you. You know that, but they don't know. They know that they're gonna watch you, and then you do not know, though. They were always there. Even every time. Anytime. You just think about it, and then they're always there. It's never to the point, well, happy early birthday. It's never to the point where there's something going on that they're never there. They're always gonna be there. They're always watching. They're never gonna leave. They will always be there. They're never gonna go away. Never gonna do anything, and they're always gonna be there. They're watching. They're always watching. They never did not watch a single time in your life. They were there. They always watched everything going on. They watched the good times and the bad times. They watched everything. They watched literally anything you can think of. They did everything. They watched everything. They watched everything going on. But then you just think they're not real, okay? They've been watching since you know. Because, why? They're always there. You just don't sense it. The last time you sense it was when you're, like, I don't know, like, really young. But yeah, they're always there. They exist in your walls. They exist in the floors. They exist on the roof. They exist in your walls. They're always existing. You just never give a thought about it. They're always there. They never leave. They're always there. They're there for you anytime you need them. You never thank them. You're just there, and nothing good ever happens. They're always going to watch you, and nothing's going to change anything to stop them. They're there, but you just never give a thought. You're always there, though. They're going to watch you. They're always going to do everything for you, but you just never thank them. Do you remember the time whenever you were embarrassed at school? But then guess what? They watched you. They watched you through the walls. They watched you through your room. They watched everything. They watched it all. They were there for you. They existed for you. They did everything for you, and you never thank them. They're always there. They're in your walls, but you never have the time to greet them. They're there, but you just never give a thought. And as always, you want them gone. Some people want to even remove them from there. They exist perfectly fine in your walls. They're supposed to be in your walls. They're supposed to be ghosts. You're not able to see them, but they're there. They're always there. They never leave, but they're always there. Everything is happening, but you just don't give a thought. Hello, Honor. Hello, kiddo. But every time they're there, it's always something that people don't want to deal with. They're ghosts. Yeah, sure. Some people think they're scary, but yes, it's normal. That's perfectly fine. They exist in your walls for a reason. They're there for you. Even once you move to, like, I don't know, your fifth house, maybe they're just always there for a good cause. They're your own angel. They're supposed to be there, watching you. They're always there, but you never give a thought, right? Right? Because every single time you're there, you just say, "Go, leave me away," and try to get them out. They try to get them out of the house. You can't leave it. You can't leave it. You can't leave them. They're already too late. They're always there. You just never think about it. They're always there. They're always there. They're always there. The demons. Yes. Yes. They're always there. You don't care though, right? 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 They're there. They're